Welcome folks, it's Mark Rolton, coming to you live from the engine room in Massland's HQ. Today I'm bringing you the final piece of the jigsaw in our three-part series, and I've termed it this: the 7 action steps you can take to stop you from living a life of poorness. So many people, folks, end up as statistics, broke, on the pension, worse still, leaning on their children to support them in their latter years, or by any other means. I can tell you one thing that is for sure, that the pension in Australia will be phased out in the next 15 to 18 years. Now, if you still fit into the working class at that point, then you and I must, and I repeat, must, have a financial plan in place, or it'll be like America. You basically either have the cash or you don't. If you don't, you live a life committed to poverty. So let's now have a look at a couple of ideas that I jotted down. A couple of things firstly. Are you living the life that you really desire? And folks, if you aren't, it's time to invest. If you're not living the life that you had always envisaged, now think of your retirement. Roll that out 5, 10, 12 years, 16 years, and now get a feeling of where you're going to end up if today you don't decide to make changes. I jotted down a couple of things, and I really feel that this is probably some of the crazy things that most people do before they retire. This is why they end up broke, and I'm saying this now as a precautionary measure for you. Listen to this. Number 1, the 7 actions you can take to stop from living a life of poorness. Number 1, I thought to myself, you could save more. But even if you do save, chances are you're going to outlive your money. I don't know about you, the cost of living is certainly skyrocketing. Do you have enough to sustain your lifestyle? 2, I thought, well, what if we work longer in life? But is that really what you want to do? Do you want to now commit to 70 hours a week rather than 65? Is that where you want to play the game? For me, it's certainly not. I trust that you fit in that same equation also. So is that really where we want to go? Is that the answer? Secondly, didn't you want to create time? By working harder, 70, 80, 85 hours a week, which many people do. Are we really going to get to the root cause of the problem? No. I think we might make more money, but it doesn't teach us how to become sustainable. And that's the conversation on foot today. Number 3, well, you could always live below your means. I mean, understand, accept that a pension is the main source of your survival. I don't know about you, $255 per week as a couple is not to me the way that I want to live my life. And I trust that you're the same situation. That is not a life of choice, that is not a life of freedom, that is not a life of affluence. Or influence for that matter. Now, number 4, another little point I came up with was, ask your children to help you. Well, is that what you want? Do you want to now be a burden upon, your kids, upon your children, upon your, upon your siblings, upon other family? Is that where you want to play? Would you rather be a warning or an example of what your life should be like in your latter years? Number 5, this is a great point. Get real. Today, the only way you're going to make progress is to take a reality check of where you are at the moment. Folks, pull away all the layers. Stop sugarcoating it. This is not barbecue or dinner party talk. You don't have to make it sound good. Have a real discussion either with yourself or your loved one, spouse, better other, whatever it might be, and get to the real facts here. If you're now spending 14 grand a month and earning 12 and a half, you've got some problems. It's now time to pull the skeletons out of the closet. Many years ago, I looked at the numbers and I figured out why I was always living month to month. Why I was always living off credit cards. Fact of the matter was, I was living well beyond my means. I was spending far more than I was earning. Folks, this is up to you. I'm not going to push you, I'm not going to prod you, I'm not going to poke you, mock you or make fun of you. I want you to be able to take ownership of this and be responsible, be intelligent, and come from a place of power and just go, you know what, I want to do this. I want to make change. I know that many people retire wealthy. Why not me? That's a question I hope that you're asking. So number 6, learn more. Take control of your finances yourself. I subscribe to the method of thinking that no one takes charge of your money but you. Meaning no superannuation fund, no financial planner, no other person that looks after your money on your behalf. I do not believe in this. That might be controversial, that might be contentious. But I will tell you, I've been ripped off numerous times and significant amounts of money, not $10,000, $20,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions, only a few years back now. And I've learned I am in charge of my destiny, I'm in charge of my finances. I know that you've made that decision, an intelligent choice by now. Number 7, expand your means. I like this one. It was the last thought. The only way you're going to achieve the life of fulfillment, what you deserve, is that you need to take educated, and I say that deliberately, educated risks in order to get returns. It's not about throwing it on red or going to the casino, putting it all on black. It's educated risks, knowing and having the confidence to go, that's going to be a good return or a good yield. I can do well out of that. Or I know that if I'm buying a property at 360, I know that that is a whole lot less than it really should be. It's probably worth 405 or 410 or 385. I know I'm buying at a discount. I spoke to an agent yesterday. He's a crappy house on a splitter, 1,012 square metres. I rang him up and I said, what do they want for it? He said 465. I said, okay, well, and we're talking like 30K from the CBD. I said, what do you think the price I'll take? He said, well, look, they knock back 350. And I thought, well, 465, 350, it's a big deduction. I said, look, I was thinking, what if I come in sort of like 370, maybe 372? He said, I think you'd have some traction. Things have changed for these two investors. They're desperate. And I know they've got to move the property. Here's what was cool about it. It was already equipped for disabled people. It had ramps, showers. I knew that I could get a premium for that property in terms of rent. And I could split the block off the back, pull a really good chunk of money. At least $63,000, $64,000 cash out of splitting the rear block off that. And the house is fully renovated at the front. I mean, that to me, you've got to know with confidence, this is how I'm going to execute it. That comes with experience. So, live and expand your means. The best way to know how is through real estate, folks. 86% of the world's millionaires house their wealth in property. Folks, that is not a coincidence. If you're not a landlord, and I use that word deliberately, if you are not a landlord, you want to become one. If you are a landlord, it's time now to crank this thing up to a whole new place. If you now want to become part of Massland's projects, click on the link below. We can walk you through how I've established my portfolio and how I make sure it will return me a very healthy income in my latter years. It starts out very, very basic. It's called an automatic acquisition plan, or an AAP. And I'll show you how to ramp that up and now turn the focus to commercial property and even small shopping centres as you progress and build equity. So folks, this is your call to action. Let's become landlords together. Become a part of one of our signature projects, and then you and I can share the responsibility of looking after many more people that rent properties from us, and you and I get to profit from that responsibility as well. So I look forward to seeing you real soon. This is Rolton signing off. Bye for now.